it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to share my September TBR with you. Although I have heard some readers and some creators call them like hopefuls, like your September hopefuls, because you're hoping to get to that book in that month, and basically that's what this is. These are all books that I hope to get to this month, and I'm kind of giving you a little sneak peek on what you can expect as far as videos go, because I've pulled some books for videos and video ideas that I have that I want to do, book club stuff, podcast stuff, all of that. So if you're interested, stay tuned. First book on the stack is The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. I've had this on my TBR for a little while. I read The Sundown Motel by this author, and I liked the atmosphere and the vibes, but the two POVs were very, very similar. I mean, like down to like them having like partners in crime. I think this one was written first anyway, but I'm reading this for my friend Jess's book club that she started. Her and Savannah are doing this book for September. The book club is called Sleep When You're Dead, I believe. And this is also a dual timeline story, Vermont in 1950 and Vermont in 2014. And it's gothic, suspenseful, crime drama. And I really don't want to know too much more going in, but I'm excited to read it and join the ladies, watch the live show, and chat with them about this. Next book I am reading as part of my online book club. They do a whole bunch of book discussions and like buddy reads and stuff. And the book of the month book pick was Shari Lapina's Not a Happy Family. And this one is where everybody is keeping secrets, and I really don't like to read the synopsis of thrillers too much because I usually get spoiled for something that's not necessarily like a spoiler, but I would have been surprised figuring that out on my own, if that makes sense. I've read two other books by Shari Lapina, and I think I have like one that I haven't read, but this is her newest release and I want to read it. I'm reading it for my book club, so that's perfect. For my podcast, Talk Bookish to Me, which is linked in the description box of this video, which I guess I haven't talked about it a lot on my channel because some of you guys were like, oh, you have a podcast? And I'm like, yeah. So anyway, my podcast, Talk Bookish to Me, we usually do like literary topics, discussion type, things. We do recommendations and all of that, but 4 times a year we have book discussions. And for October, Jessie from Reading with Jess and I are going to be reading and discussing The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. So I may or may not put this on my September TBR, but if I don't get to it in September, I'm definitely going to read it in October because that discussion is October 25th. Another event that I'm light participating in is the Thrill to the Weekend readathon. It's a 72-hour readathon hosted by my friend Jacqueline, also Jordan, Ashley, I thought it was. So it's Jacqueline, Jordan, and Ashley hosting this round. And it's just like 72 hours. There's going to be like a movie watch. It's going to be like really low key, but you can read like thrillers, mysteries, horror, true crime, those type of books. So pretty much everything almost on my TBR like counts for this. So I'm not exactly sure what I'll be reading, but one thing that kind of stood out that I could possibly read is my next Chevy Stevens book. This is Never Knowing by Chevy Stevens. This one is a little bit chunkier than all of the other ones, but the font is kind of big. I did do a try chapter of all of Chevy Stevens' books except for like her newest release. So I talked a little bit about it in there. And then I also read like Still Missing, and then Jacqueline and Jessie and I, we did a collab where we each read a book. And then I asked you guys in that video like how you wanted me to handle, Chevy Stevens' backlist, if you wanted me to vlog it or anything like that. So you said yes, you want me to vlog it. So I plan to read this and vlog the experience. It will be spoiler free, so you can watch it even if you haven't read the book yourself. I'm reading them in publication order in case you had any questions about that. So, all right, next up, I have only one of the books here, but I'm doing a Lisa Jewell reading vlog. It's only 2 books. I'm going to tackle her new release, The Night She Disappeared. Again, I don't know too much about this. I was sent it from Atria Books, so thank you guys so much for thinking of me, because I have read 3 other Lisa Jewell books. One was a 4 other Lisa Jewell books. One was a 4-star and the others were 3 stars, but I have 2 that I own myself, including this ARC. And then I went to the library today and they had another one. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have 2 or 3 books in that vlog, but this is one that I hope to get to this month because it actually does release on September 7th. All right, next I thought it would be fun to do a little horror reading vlog. I have been doing a couple of horror videos. I think I've said, and if you've caught any of those videos, you know I'm trying to explore that genre more. I do have a handful of books that I really have enjoyed that are like horror books, but I do have an episode coming up on my podcast talking about like, you know, horror book recommendations, and I'm gonna have Marcy on, who's like my horror queen, but I'm hoping to read some horror between now and then so I can have some recommendations for you guys. So I did do a whole bunch of novellas that I read. That video was a lot of fun, even though I didn't find like a new favorite. It was just a really good experience. And then I also borrowed a whole bunch of horror books from my library and did a try a chapter tag, which basically I read until I was like either bored or I read the first chapter if I was like interested in it. And I didn't find any that I was like super into, but it was a good way to like try to find out what I like and what I'm gonna vibe with and stuff like that. And Marcy is also just like teaching me about the genre in general. I've been doing my own research online and learning like the different subgenres and stuff like that. So I am narrowing it down, but I do have some on my TBR that like I own that I want to go ahead and give a go this month. So this will be my first horror like reading vlog where I'm reading like novels. So the first one is The Patient by Jasper DeWitt, and this is one that I was so lucky to find at the book exchange. I like gasped when I saw this. I've heard this compared to The Silent Patient, and I really did enjoy that book, so I'm hoping to get to this one. It is about this man who's been in a psychiatric hospital since he was 6. Yeah, since of age 6, and he's now 41 years old, and he's like the most difficult, notorious, dangerous patient. That's crazy. He's been in there like his whole life basically. So I'm really interested to read this and see what I think. I got Brother. This is one that Haley has read and enjoyed. This is one that Marcy has read and enjoyed. It's this brand new novel of terror of a young man determined to break from his family's unconventional and deeply disturbing traditions. So I think he's like from a family of like serial killers or just like killers in general, and he doesn't want to do that anymore. So should be interesting, but I picked it up and I'm excited. All right, so I've heard good things about this, but Jacqueline gave me her copy because she wasn't really vibing with it. And it's The Girl Next Door by Jack Ketchum. And I've heard that this is based on a true story, which makes it even more horrifying. I think that what she didn't like about it is the writing itself. It was written very like old man Stephen King type is what I think she said, but I have heard nothing but good things from people that read horror. A woman in my book club named Regina that also really likes horror, she read it and she raved about it. So I'm excited to see what I think. Last one that I am putting on my TBR for this month is my best friend's Exorcism, and this is by Grady Hendrix, and this is also kind of, I don't know, I think this is a good beginner like horror book. I've read one other Grady Hendrix book. I really liked it. I also have, like I said, his new release. So maybe I'll do a Grady Hendrix reading vlog. I don't know. We'll just see. But this one definitely on my TBR. So those are the books that I am hoping to read this month. Some of my video plans and stuff like that. Don't know what I'll get to, so you'll just have to stay tuned all month long to find out what I end up reading, and then I'll do a wrap up at the end of the month, of course, to let you know what I accomplished and what I thought of all the books that I read. But that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know which are the most excited for me to read out of the ones that I talked about here today, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye!